So I think I'm gonna do this one, the shop front, but I won't do the whole thing, I'll just do the inside. Let's go. This is Armenian Street and it's the restaurant front True Blue. I'm here at the first botanic garden, Armenian Street in Singapore. It was kind of boarded up and made into a pedestrian walkway. One or two of the buildings are still sort of being renovated, but by and large it is now a motor-free zone where pedestrians can freely walk about. Here are the weekend sketches. You can see Lin Chan, you can see Joyce, you can see Camila, you can see Chingy, and there's a few more not in the camera as well. We'll see them later on. So today I'm going to draw a shop front, and I will basically put use a different recipe today. I'm going to draw with pencil to guide my ink, if you like. I put pencil lines, more rough lines, if you like. I really want to do a more detailed sketch today. As I was laying down the pencil line, I'm thinking of how accurate the ratio, height to width, where I place the vase, the flower, the plants, and so on and so forth. The angles of the lines as well, especially when I'm trying to not draw a perpendicular line to the sketchbook, but having the line drawn diagonally, and therefore I'm very conscious of the angle, in other words horizon to the line that I'm drawing, the angle that is. For beginners, there's always a tendency to draw the horizon line and the line on the ground parallel to the sketchbook. It's actually better if you try to angle it like this. If you look at a photograph, you will find that the lines at the bottom as well as the roof line is at an angle to the horizon line or to the sketchbook. It's just a composition style, and I think an angled line is always more energy, and so allows you to create a little bit more interesting sort of a sketch, if you like. So now I'm going to ink over my pencil line. I'm selectively correcting some of the pencil lines and using my sailor fute nib, bended nib that is. I begin to sort of overlay the ink on top of the pencil line. The way I'm thinking about this is that front object first, so that I can draw them, and then mid-ground, and finally background. There's plenty of mistakes with the pencil line, but that's the beauty of this recipe, if you like. It allows me to correct some of the mistakes with my pencil line, either the angle or the measurement or the ratio of each of the object, or the vase or the flowers and the plants and so on and so forth. I did find that it was liberating or free, as I don't really have to think too much with my pen, since the pencil has done most of the thinking. So I could go over it relatively quickly with a lot more energy and freedom. And the freedom shows in the kind of lines, the confident line that I could make, much better than if I had to make it tentative, because I'm thinking about so many things all at one time. So there are benefits of using pencil and then pen, if you like, but of course this is an extra step. Not many people may want to do two steps, but then again I see lots of people doing it, so it's not necessarily right or wrong. So now that I've finished inking, it's one of those things that I've already covered in a couple of my videos. I call it the one shadow trick. If you've not seen it, I'll put the link right up here. The basic idea is very simple. You put the shade and the shadow in first, so that you could leave the rest where the light hits. The local colors can be put in with its full brightness right from the palette into the sketchbook. Whereas the areas where there are shades or shadows, when you put in colors, you will find that they are muted, and therefore your eyes could see the shadows correctly. So in some ways this would be a part 3 one shadow trick, maybe that's what I'll call it for this video, and it will allow the same technique to be applied, which is putting the shadow first and then only the local color. The 2 videos that I made prior to this, they are all made with references to photograph. This is live, done in front of the Shopfront itself. By the way, I will be leaving a link to the reference photograph for you to use if you want, if you're interested to make the same sketch with the same light source and so on. You can also draw the Shopfront as a practice. I'll leave the link right in the description below. Just a note, the shadow color is made out of Queen Burnt Orange mixed with a form of purple. It's dioxin purple. One of the things I'm going to do with the sun hit area is to use very bright yellow to symbolize where the sun hits the plant. It's basically lemon yellow with a dab of green gold. I make this very bright yellow all over in terms of where I see the plants. You can see it in the photograph as well, and that's usually on top, somewhere to the left hand side, because the shadows are on the bottom right, as well as you can see the contrast between where the sun hit top part versus the bottom slightly to the right shadowy part of the plant. I mix a darker green, and I mix a bit more with the phthalo green with the blue shades thrown in to kind of give a bit of form to all the plants that I can see in front of me. So that really is to keep it simple. They look a little bit fake at this point, but later on, I guess with browning it up, if you like, with a touch, with a bit of Queen Burnt Orange, they will look a little bit more realistic. I make the same patch of green plus burnt orange for the grass at the bottom, as you can see. At this point, when it's still the first layer, you don't really have to be accurate necessarily with the color. You just want to make sure that they are in the ballpark. When you put your second and third layer and darks and so on, some of these colors will begin to take a more realistic shape. I'm going back in to put in a bit more shadows, small shapes, small sized shadows here and there, just to kind of give the sketch a bit of a three-dimensional form. I'm going a bit darker now. I think it's ready for us to do a bit of darks over, or the second layer if you like. Some of the more neutral color, neutral green, neutral, to symbolize the shadowed part of the sketch. So this is how the one shadow trick works. The idea is that you put a structure using shadow. That's the complete structure of the sketch. And then all the local colors, the yellow, the green, that's the sun hit part, the light version of the colors. They are like cream on the cake, if you like. They are the icing on the cake. And basically it is to put in the colors that will give it the final touches to make it three-dimensional. But the structure is constructed with shadow first, and if you got all the shadows correct, your sketch will already have a three-dimension built into it, and it makes your job in sketching this much easier. So in some way this is just filling in the bits and bobs, the bright orange, the bright reds, the bright colors that I could see that are in the sketch, including the poster here, which is sponsored by a local bank. It has credit cards and photos of excellent yummy food on it. But of course I'm just creating symbols of it, or really just summarizing it with a few splashes of bright colors. Some of the reds are also muted. You can see I'm putting it in the shadow, and some of the reds are in but part of a plant. There are little dots of red flowers in the plant in front where the sun hits. So I allow the red to shine through, and there are also muted red in the decorative elements in front of the shop as well, especially in the lantern with Chinese characters on it. You can see that your eyes are beginning to see the shadow and light part of the storefront. It is only natural because with the structure in place, the shadow in place, your eyes will see a receding depth of the shop front. There is a background, if you like, and then there's a midground and there's foreground. And you are trying to fool your eyes by using colors and shadows. Those are really how you create depth of 3 dimension in a 2-dimensional piece of paper. I will leave also another link to the second video that I have on the subject of shadow as well, right here. If you have not seen it, those two will make a very good grounding on understanding how to paint in this style, which is shadow first, using my one shadow trick. It's Jeannie, that's Priscilla, that's Stephanie, that's Rachel, and Abnisha. Pleased to meet you. Bye, people. So after saying goodbye to all my Sketcher friends, let me just show you very quickly the process I went through, the sketch, the color, and so on and so forth. So meanwhile, this is Whee Teck out, wishing all of you staying safe and healthy wherever you are. Till the next one. Bye.